Okay, hello everyone. So this is video 3 for the Sony clock, and what we're going to be looking at today is the underside of the clock where we have the speaker for the alarm and the backup battery that goes in. So I'm in SolidWorks. I'm going to SolidWorks, File, New, Part, OK. I'm going to open up a sketch, so right click front plane, click the button to the left of the eyeball, click sketch. And then go to rectangle and click the drop down arrow beside it and choose center rectangle. Anywhere like here, click the dot, not anywhere, click the origin and then drag out any size you like, rectangle, go to smart dimension, and we're going to dimension that is a total of 115 by 115, so it's a perfect square. So we're going to click the top there, that random number changed to 115, and the side, that random number changed to 115. Good. Now we're going to put fillets onto that straight away. So I'm going to click the fillet option. We're going to click the four corners. You see the fillets appearing. And the size of them fillets is bigger than 10. They're 30. So 30 millimeters. So change number 10 over here to 30. Click the green tick. Click it again. Then straight away go to Features, Extrude Boss Base. Now we're going to extrude it a total of 5. So we change that number 10 to 5. And we're then also going to pick the option here called Draft. We're going to click that button there to turn on Draft. And the draft angle that we're going to use is at 30. So we're going to type in 30 there for draft. And then we're going to have that's finished, that's perfect. So 5 millimeters, click the button here, draft, change whatever that number was to 30, and then leave it as blind, that's perfect. We click the green tick. Now we have the base plate. Now the next thing to do is we have to shell that. But we can shell it afterwards actually when I think about it now, because there's a casing for the battery and that to go in. So before we go any further then, we're going to spin this back around. We're looking at this face here. We're going to right click this face. We're going to click sketch. We're going to hit the space bar and we're going to click normal 2. Now on the underside of this there is a kind of a complicated enough detail for where the speaker, or where the alarm makes a speaker. It's based off of a circle. Now there's a couple of ways that we can do this, but what I'm going to actually do for this is just cut in a circular shape rather than going with the rectangular shape, because the rectangular shape is going to slow down the PC. It's going to take an awful long time to run it. So I'm going to go to sketch. I'm going to click the drop down arrow. I'm going to click circle, and anywhere I like, roughly in this top corner, I'm going to draw a circle of any size. I go to smart dimension. The size of that circle will be 55 diameter or radius 22.5, so 55 diameter. And then we're going to go from the origin to the middle of that circle, the horizontal distance that I'm picking up now, that random number, that has to be changed down to 22. And then we're going to click again in the origin. It's a bit hard to pick it up sometimes. Nope, push escape. So I'm just going to try and pick up the central circle first, then click the origin. Okay, I'll turn back, sorry, because I pushed escape I turned off smart dimension. So I'm going to turn back on smart dimension, center the circle to the origin, and the vertical distance, it also is 22. So that's a circle in the right place. I then go Features, Extruded Cut, but I'm only going to cut it down 0.5 of a millimeter. And then I click the green tick. Now, inside this then, we're going to put a few rectangles to give the impression of the holes cutting through. So I'm going to right click on this circle face, going to click sketch, going to go to the drop down arrow here beside rectangle, and I'm going to click corner rectangle. I'm going to draw a small rectangle roughly in this location up here. And we're going to get exact measurements on that now. So the first thing I do is I go to smart dimension. The width of that rectangle is a total of 10. And the thickness of that rectangle is a total of 3. So we're going to click the side there. That number there has to be 3. From the origin, so I click the origin, to the bottom of that rectangle, I want that distance to be 41. And then again, click the origin and click this side of the rectangle, and that thickness, or the depth over it has to be, is 25. Then go Features, Extruded Cut, change it from blind to true all, click the green tick. That's the first rectangle put into place for giving the impression of where the speaker goes. Once you have that done, you immediately go to linear pattern. Now, the first thing it wants to know is the direction of the pattern. So if you click just the edge of this line here, just that edge there, that's the direction of the pattern. The next thing we have to tell it is what to pattern, features to pattern. So just up here, there's a little arrow. If you click this box here where it says features, then click this little arrow up here. I want you to pick up the last cut extrude, the very last option. And what you see is a whole bunch of yellow rectangles appearing. We'll scroll back up. What's wrong now is the distance between them is not 10. The distance between each of them is 2. Sorry, it's not 2. I keep forgetting to double it. It's 4. And the amount then that we have to have is not 8. It's 11. And once you have that done, click the green tick. So that's put a series of holes going all the way down through it. And now we're going to mirror that out the other side. So to do that, we click the drop down arrow underneath linear. We go to mirror. The plane that I want to mirror about, unfortunately I don't have that in situ. Or maybe this is what I can do. Move it around to 3D. Just click that face there, any of them. That gets that into place, but then it's going to be cut in the same way. So we're actually going to change that system, folks. So I'm going to X out of this. That's a mistake. And what we're going to do instead is another linear pattern. So forget about that. That's not going to work. Just fast forward the video to this point. We're going to go to linear pattern. Again, what do you want to pattern? We click this top edge here. Now, the few things that are wrong here now, it's already picked up that I want to pattern the pattern. If that box is empty, for example, let's say you open it up and you click that line there and nothing happens like what happened to me. Scroll down, click this box, make it blue, click linear pattern. And then this is what you'll get. Scroll back up. We're going to change that from 4 to 10. And we're going to change it from 11 to 2. 10 is not correct still. Okay, now something has switched on for me here by accident because I clicked something I shouldn't have clicked. So I'm just going to push the X. I'm going to start again. Linear pattern. The direction, this line here. The distance, 20. For the moment, we'll change that 20 in a minute. The amount, 2. Just click in here, there's a little grey area in here. Or even click the box above it, there we go. Now 20 is incorrect, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to try 15. 15 is perfect. So that's a little bit tricky there, and I know that I've done a bit of jumping on the video and it mightn't be that streamlined. Just ask me in class if you're having trouble with that, but that's what's involved with that. And I click the green tick. Now, when you study that particular pattern, you'll see that it's not a straight through cut like that, that it's kind of tapered. So we're going to actually make that happen now as best we can. I'm going to click the little arrow here beside cut extrude, this cut extrude here. And I'm going to just right click then cut extrude. And I'm going to click this button here in the top left, edit feature. Now this is similar to when we were doing the draft. I'm now going to click draft here. And I'm going to leave it at 30 degrees and I'm going to click the green tick. And that gives a far better impression for the underside of the clock. I know that there's holes going all the way through, but I think for your project that looks a lot better than trying to cut all the sloping holes going through. Okay, so that's that done. Next thing then is down here, there is a plate to be took out for the battery. So I'm going to just right click anywhere here, going to click sketch, going to hit the space bar, going to click normal 2, going to zoom in down here. I'm going to click the drop down arrow beside rectangle. I'm going to go to corner rectangle And anywhere down here, I'm going to draw a rectangle. We then go to Smart Dimension. The distance from here to here is a total of 20. And the distance from the bottom to here is a total of 10. The length of that rectangle, so not that random number, is 45. And the thickness of that rectangle, not a random number, is 22. I go Features, Extruded Cut, and we're going to cut down there, not 0.5, we're going to cut down there 2. Click the green tick once, click it again. And that's where the battery will be going in a few minutes. Once we have all that done then, all that's left is there are one hole that's used for, it says here, for resetting the alarm underneath. So just going to put that in. It's very simple. We right click again, we go to Sketch, I go to Circle, I draw a circle here, I Smart Dimension that that circle is a total of 8. The distance from the side to the middle, that is 30. And the distance from the top to the middle, that is 30. I go Features, Extruded Cut, and I'm going to extrude that. That cut is going to be 2.5. And I click the green tick once, and I click it again. Now we're ready to shell the object. So I'm going to spin it around so we can see the back of it. I go to Shell, I click this face anywhere I like, and I change from 10 to 1, and I click the green tick once, and I click it again. So that's the underside of it now, and that's the front side of it. And that's that part made. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to change it from its name being Part 4 to being Part 4 Sony Clock base cover. And we're going to make sure that we save that into your folder with all the other parts that we've made so far. Back it up to a USB key, send yourself an email that you have your parts safe. Only one small thing that's left off of that, which I actually forgot to do, was there's a fillet on that, which we can put in now. I'm going to click fillet, going to change from 10 down to 2, and it's just this edge here. Click anywhere you like, and then click the green tick. I forgot about that fillet, and once you have that done, you can click the save button again, and that'll update your drawing. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Thanks very much.